Alright, hello. Fade's gameplay, reveal kind of came out. And I've watched this video quite a bit of times, and I'm gonna give you my guess, my breakdown on what I think is happening in each of these, abilities. Because I'd say I have a fairly good guess now on what's happening. I was, looking intently, I was going frame by frame, and I'm sorry for the poor quality, by the way. But by the way, if you guys haven't seen Fade's, trailer, her trailer reveal, it's really awesome. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's pretty cool. A big fan already, aesthetically, of Fade. Right, so this is her first ability. She gains a projectile, and you'll notice a couple bit here. So notice that it's gonna hit the wall. It goes directly down. It's it is kind of like a Phoenix Molly, where when it hits a wall, it'll just go straight down. This thing spawns as soon as and I pointed in real life, oh my gosh. This thing spawns here, right? And this is kind of interesting because you'll notice this a lot throughout the video with their abilities, but check out this cord. So this cord will point to the enemy that it's revealing, right? So this is basically a reveal. It's like a silver reveal, it's like a cipher reveal, but notice that throughout the duration, right? Throughout the duration of this, it doesn't tick, right? The unique thing that I think about separates this is that when you have a silver arrow, or you have a cipher camera, and the cipher camera dart hits you, right? There's a multi-tick. There's a bit of a tick, it's it flashes for a bit, right? Same thing with silver arrow. It does a multi-tick where it's when it reveals, kind of frames at a time. But it straight up just reveals the entire position of the entire time. And this might not be a good example because if Silva's moving, this might just show the initial position. Because we don't know what this looks like right now. We don't know from Brim's perspective what this looks like. But this might show just where his initial position was, right? Or this might just be following him, right? But I imagine Silva's not moving anytime soon, so we wouldn't know. Okay, this is Fade's ultimate. If this is not Fade's ultimate, I will be insanely confused because this thing looks insane. This looks insane. And there's a couple things you might miss when it goes over. And I'll try to point it out a little bit. So as this starts fading away, this whole thing, it's supposed to reveal the enemies, so to speak. Notice these chords again. You'll see there's this red chord here. It is tracking, right? It's tracking from Fade's perspective to where Raze is. So Fade now knows that there's someone on the right side, right? Let's wait for this effect to go back. So, okay, so this next ability, it's like a tracking ability. It follows the chord, and it's kind of like a Sky ultimate. That's what I'm assuming is what's happening. It's kind of like a Sky ultimate, but I imagine that when it hits the enemy, it's fearing them or something, because that's Fade's whole deal, right? So that's what I'm guessing is happening here. Right? A pretty terrifying thing. Okay, look at this chord real quick, because I missed this the first couple times. So this chord is being revealed from the ultimate, right? So it identified the enemy, and it kind of attached a chord, a tether. I keep saying chord, but tether is also acceptable, I think. I think they're both good. Tether actually sounds cooler, but chord's easier to say. But there's this black chord, right, that is following Sage, right? And we probably already see this initially from right here. On the corner of the eye of Fade, because it's hard to miss, because when you see this happen, it's this is all I'm looking at. But there's this chord that falls from the ultimate to alert Fade that someone is on the left, and I'm assuming allies can see this too. I'm assuming allies can see all these chord stuff. Okay, so this ability goes out, it attacks Raze, right? Sage totally misses here, totally whiffs, and Fade just kills it because she already knows where Sage was. Okay, this one. Okay, so look at this effect here on the eyes. I believe that at least what it was at the bare minimum, what is happening is a blind. At the bare maximum, I believe this is a fear. I think Raze is currently getting feared here, right? But she's at least blinded. She is at least blinded. And so, but Fade already knows where she is from the chord, right? And already got bewildered by whatever the hell that that Wood Willoughby's thing is. I'm really guessing it's a fear. Okay, and then Fade kills her, right? Chord disappear. By the way, interesting note, not really too interesting though, but the chord obviously disappears when the enemy dies. Okay, this next ability, so this goes in, right? Notice it goes all the way down. It drops all the way down, right? So there's either two things that are happening here. Number one is this will only go a set amount of distance before it immediately drops down, right? Or number two, it will detect, because okay, when Fade turns the corner here, Neon's on the other side. And I didn't see Neon when Fade uses her ultimate initially, but I'm guessing I just couldn't see Neon, or Neon was in the smoke, in the Brim smoke, right? But what I'm guessing is happening here, and it's most likely the second thing, is that when the ball goes over, and it detects that an enemy is within their radius, right? It will just drop down, and you'll see what happens. It drops down, right? And notice this thing. It's a little hard to see initially right here, right? This is the projectile Fade through. Drop down, right? Releases a tether or a cord. and it goes right around Neon's legs, and this is important. This other cord, this second cord, or not the second cord, but this first cord here on the left, I believe that this is from the ultimate again. I think this is from the ultimate, right? And I think what this is doing, what the second cord is doing, is it's also tracking her, right? It's kind of like pointing in her direction. But I think the usage of this ability is more like a slow. It's some sort of like movement hindrance of some sort. And my guess why that is happening is, well, it's wrapped around her legs. That's really my only thing. That's my only like intuition on that is it's wrapped around her legs. It also disappears when Neon dies, but notice that the ultimate cord lingers for just a little bit before disappearing. And I think that's an interesting visual bug. I don't think that has anything to do with like gameplay too much, right? I guess it could, because it could tell you, as like, oh, okay, yeah, that guy killed that other guy. But I imagine like a Valorant game when someone dies, you know, 9 times out of 10, everyone will know who's dead. But yeah, that is my guess at her abilities. I think Fade's gonna be broken. I mean, that's always gonna happen when a new agent's released, right? They're always gonna be broken. It's gonna be broken. But you know what? She looks really cool, and I'm gonna play her after she's nerfed because everyone will want to play her. Everyone will want to play her, and I'll have no chance to lock her in. But when she's nerfed and no one wants to play anymore, I'll be there because she looks badass, dude. Listen, I play Valorant. I play agents not because if they're useful, but because they look badass. And I'm an Omen main, and this fits exactly with the darkness aesthetic I love the most. So yeah, I think Fade's really cool. I think she brings to the table something new that not initiates, but I guess I want to say scouts, right? Like information gatherers, like Cypher and Sova, like don't have in the sense like I don't know, these chords are really interesting to me. I'm not super like I'm not high ranked in Valorant or anything, and this is coming from all of this is coming from the I should have prefaced this by the way, but all of this is coming from the perspective of someone who's like a Valorant casual, right? I don't play ranked, I only play unrated, and stuff like that, you know, so I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting. Yeah, so thank you guys for that. That is gonna be all. Thank you for watching, and I'm hoping I'm right, but chances are I'm probably dead wrong. These probably do something way different, but I feel like I have a really good guess. But thank you guys again for watching. I do appreciate it, and that's all I gotta say. So have a good morning, have a good evening, have a good night, whenever you are, wherever you are. Regardless, so have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.